All right, well, thank you everybody for joining me again today. This is our official last Sunday in the year of 2020. Yay! But we will be continuing our classes into the new year. Just my way of giving something back to all of you, and whatever I can do to help out and make our lives a little bit more peaceful and our bodies more strong and vigorous. So let's get started breathing together. You can just find yourself in a comfortable seated position, and we'll take some nice deep breaths together. Let's reach with our arms today. Inhaling, lengthening all the way up, filling those lungs with good, clean oxygen. Exhale, letting it all release. And let's try that again. Inhale, lengthening all the way up. And exhaling and opening. Let's reach our arms out to the side for that extension, lengthening, reach energy through the fingertips. And then we'll take our side bend, reaching one arm up. Inhale, exhale, up and over into our side bend. That's it. Enjoy that length through the waistline. Pausing here, let's contract and reach up and over on the diagonal. Feeling that stretch there. Good. We'll come back to our sideways position again. Inhale and exhale to return. We'll do that to the other side, reaching up with one arm. Lengthen, inhale, and exhale, side bending, keeping that opposite sit bone anchoring down into the mat. Breathe there. And then again, lift the abdominals, contract up and over on that diagonal. Enjoying that stretch to the sides of the low back. We'll come back to our sideways position again. Inhale and exhale, coming back up. Now we're going to go ahead and use that side bend into a circle. So we'll go up and over to the side once again. Then folding over the waistline, contracting, looking towards your belly button. Change hands, go to the other side. Coming through that sideways bend and then up and over the top. Let's do that same direction again. Up and over. Freedom through the waistline, through the back, contracting, scooping. Continue to breathe as you move. And on up. Now we'll reverse it to the other side. Up and over. Good, and contract, just flowing around to the other side, to our side bend, and stacking the spine once again, up and over, side bend, and scoop in the abdominals, contract, around to the other side, and up. Great, we'll take a little twist stretch here today too. Really wanting to focus today on movement, mobility through the middle of the body here. So again, you can cross one leg over. If that's not comfortable for you, you can extend the other leg out to the front. But your main goal here is just to see if you can feel both sides of your sitting bones attached to the floor. Pulling one knee into the opposite shoulder. Lift your spine and we'll spiral rotate. Once you twist as much as you can place that hand on the floor and breathe here. The more you're able to lift up and in with those abdominals, maybe you'll get a little bit more range in your twist. Just wringing out the spine. Little internal organ massage. Go ahead, come back to the center, and then with the same hand as leg, we're going to press on the inside of that leg, twist the other direction. And again, feel the rotation through the rib cage, through the spinal column. Pulling those abdominals up and in. Good. And then we'll come back to the center. And again, if this is not comfortable for you, you can do something different. But if you can, line up your knees as best you can and just take a little hinge forward. You may feel some different stretch into the hips here. A breath or two there. And then we'll stack the spine again and try all of this on the other side. So rotating. We're switching out other leg on top. Again, parking both sit bones onto the floor. We'll pull that opposite knee to the opposite shoulder, lengthening your spine, and then spiral again, rotating, opening the collarbones. Feel the fullness of breath, even as you're twisted. Little challenge there. Good, and then we'll come back. Same arm as leg, pressing against that thigh and twisting the other way, unwinding the other direction. Again, trying to drop down through the sitting bones. Excellent. And then again, coming back to center, do the best you can here, lining up those knees and then folding forward. If this is pressure on the knees, then don't do that. Good. And then bringing yourself back up. Just place your hands beside or behind yourself a little bit and take your legs out in front, a little away from your center. See if you can keep the hips in place and just let the knees and the femur bones windshield wiper over to one side and then back to center and then other side. Your range might be different from my range here. Try that again. This time as you go over, allow your hip to go with it so you can spiral a little differently there. You can allow that twist to happen. Come back to center, bringing the pelvis back to the center, and other side, spiraling over, maybe allowing that hip to go with you. There you go. Great. And then back to center, bringing the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to open wide to the sides now. Now take a stretch, diving forward, head to toes. Let the hips stretch open. Again, breathe into that low back. Good. And then again, scoop the abs in and roll your spine back up. Let's bring our legs over to the side and we'll do our contract and extension of the spine. So holding on to those shins, you can hold on top or maybe underneath the thighs, whatever's comfortable for you. Starting with that lengthened tall spine. Start with that inhale and then exhale, low belly pulls back, contract, hold on to those shins or thighs, and then really pull wide across the shoulder blades. Breathing there, hollowing out the belly. And then we're going to fold forward, bring your pelvis back to that vertical position, slide the shoulders down and lift the heart. Keep the back of the neck long here, just painting the ceiling. Shining your heart up to the sky. Bring yourself back to center. Let's do that again. Contract, hollow it out. Scoop and round. That's it. Take some deep breaths here. Feeling that hollowing. Bring yourself back to vertical again. Let the shoulders blades just melt down the back. Lift your heart. And again, nice high release of the spine. Working that extension. Come back to vertical. Let's let go of the legs and we'll take our articulation rolling down onto the mat. So scooping out the belly again, let those shoulders be soft and easy. Rolling right down. If you need to, you can hang on to your thighs to help yourself down. And arrive. Let's bring the knees into the chest here, feeling the length of your spine. Root down through your tailbone so you feel the length through the low back. Good. And then we'll place the hands on top of the kneecaps here and do our stirs. So just stirring around, massaging that circle onto the floor with the low back, with the sacrum. And then reverse your circles, softening in the hips, nice and easy. Let the arms do the guiding. Great. And then you can bring that to a close. Reach your arms up to the ceiling, palm to palm, slowly opening out into a T position. We're going to pause right before we get to the floor. So just feeling that hovering off the floor, reach through the fingers. Feel that energy across the chest. Take another inhale. And then as you exhale, release, dissolve into the floor, letting the arms just melt and relax. And we'll take our twist from here. Let your knees twist over to the left and your head turns to the right. And take some extra time here to deep breath into the low back here. Releasing the neck and shoulders as best you can. And then as you're ready, on the exhale, gather your abdominals in, bring the pelvis back to center, your head rolls back to center. Let's try other side. Knees over to the right, head rolls over to the left. And again, just try to surrender through the chest, opening through the arms. Send your deep breaths down into those places that you're feeling. And then again, same idea. Exhale, zip up those abdominals, gather the pelvis And come back to the center. Let's do a quick little hamstring stretch. Extend the left leg long, fold the right knee into your chest. And again, try not to hike through the waistline here. Try to feel even length through both sides of the waist. And we're just folding that right knee in. We'll open it out to the side. So turning it out, opening it over to the right. Try to keep the left side of your pelvis from wanting to roll off the floor. Just opening through the inner thigh. And then we'll take another little twist, bring it back to center, left hand on the outside of that right knee, and then spiral rotate again, bringing the right knee over across to the left, a little deeper twist perhaps here. And again, open through the arm, breathing into that lower back. Good. And then again, exhale, bring yourself back to center. We're going to casually let that right ankle cross over the left thigh, allowing the right knee to open out. Feeling a little hip opening stretch there. And then you're going to zip up your abdominals. Keep this crossed over leg, but bend your left knee and pull this pretzel shape into your chest. Our right hand goes between the legs and the left hand on the outside. You can link your fingers behind that left thigh or on top of the left shin into your figure 4 or pretzel stretch here. So we're pulling the thighs in toward the chest. Again, try to relax your head on the floor and then send your tailbone down. So you're feeling that oppositional stretch here. Waking up those rotators and a little glute stretch. Again, from here, you can shift a little side to side. Maybe finding other tight zones in there. Good. And then we'll carefully just bring that left foot to the floor, to the mat, unhook your right leg. It can be softly bent here. We're just going to work through the foot to flex and point, waking up the toes, the ankle, flexing and pointing. One more time, flexing and pointing, and then draw some circles a few times one way, and then a few times the other way. And now we get into the hamstrings at last. Reach that leg long, extend the left leg long on the mat again. And then you can hold either behind the thigh or maybe closer up toward the calf. Again, even length through both sides of the waistline. Tail is heavy. Just folding that thigh bone in towards you. Release, relax your shoulder tension. Sending your exhales back down through the backside of that leg. Let's bend the knee, flex the foot just to rest it for a moment. And then exhale, reach it back up through the flexed foot. So sending the heel back up, wake up those calves. And then point, maybe getting a little deeper into your stretch. And try that again. Bend and flex and fold. Nice inhale here. And exhale, reach it back up. And again, point through that foot, maybe get a little bit closer in. And now we'll go into our circle stir. So you can soften that knee, maybe lower the leg a little. Your hands can be your training wheels beside you. Put on your abdominal seatbelt of strength. So we're trying not to wobble side to side. We're going to inhale, go across the midline with that right leg. Exhale, circle it down, around, and up. Trying to really isolate that movement. Just that femur bone. Inhale and exhale around and up. 2 more times. Inhale, cross the body. And exhale, circle, stir. And again, inhale across and exhale, circle, stir. Good. Let's reverse it for 4. Inhale, open. And exhale around. And again, relaxing the chest. Send your effort into the low abdominals. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale, circle. And last time, inhale and exhale, circle. Now reach long through the leg and cast it all the way back down to the floor. And just take a second to feel the difference between the left side and the right side. Maintain that heavy quality with the right leg on the floor. Fold the left knee into your chest. And we'll do the whole shebang on the other side. So folding that leg in, working that fold in the crease of the hip. Good. And then as we did before, rotating, turning that thigh out, taking the thigh open. Again, maintaining the right side of the pelvis on the floor. Good, and then zip up those abdominals, bring the thigh back up, take opposite hand, right hand on the outside of that left knee, and another spiral twist. Bringing the left thigh across. Breathing into that lower back. And then again, rolling back onto your back, let the left ankle casually cross over the right thigh, letting that knee open out to the side again, maybe feeling some more space in the front of that left hip. And then use your abdominals here, zip up and bend the right knee, folding it in. And then we're gonna do our pretzel stretch again. Take the left hand between the legs, the right hand is on the outside, either linking hands underneath the right thigh or on top of the right shin. And again, bringing the thighs in towards your chest, relax your head, reach down through the tail and pull those thighs in towards your chest, sending your exhales into those tight places. And again, I like to mosey a little to the side, to the other side, finding other places, lengthening that out. Good, everybody. So now, again, we'll take the right foot just rested on the floor and extend the left leg in parallel, slightly bent, that's fine. And waking up the foot, flexing and pointing, and flexing and pointing, working that parallel alignment. Good, and then you can stir it out. It's 3 circles each direction. Good, work out all those crunchies. 2 and 3, very good. Now we extend, reaching both legs long, extending the right leg on the floor, and taking either behind the thigh, grab your pant legs, whatever it takes. Find that stretch through the hamstrings. Releasing your shoulders and your chest. Good, and here we are, bending the knee, flexing and folding to release that tension. Take a breath in. Exhale, reach through the heel. Lengthen that leg back up. Good, and then point again, maybe getting a little closer. And then try that again. Bend and flex and fold. Inhale and exhale. Lengthen through the heel. Stretch those calves. And then point. Good. And then again, we can lower the leg a little, soften through the thigh. Your hands can be beside you. Let's go into our circles 4 times each way. Inhale, go across the body. And exhale, stir down, around, and up. Inhale and exhale. As we get better and better at this, hopefully you're finding less pressure into the floor with your hands, less tension in the shoulders. Inhale and exhale, circle. Let's reverse for 4. Inhale, opening. And exhale, circle, perhaps getting more flexibility here, more range as you get better and better. 2 more, inhale, open, and exhale, circle, swing. And last time, inhale and exhale. Well done. Reach to the leg and send it all the way long to the mat. And that's where they'll stay for a little bit. Keep them nice and long and heavy. And then we're going to focus, turn our focus into our upper body here, finding that place where the rib cage comes together, the base of your sternum, and that's going to be our pivot point. Take the hands long beside you on the floor. Let's inhale and shrug those shoulders up to your ears where they like to live. Exhale, de-shrug, slide the fingers toward the feet along the floor. And then at that center pivot point, curl, peekaboo at your toes. Zipping up those abdominals. Take a breath in and exhale, roll yourself back down. Try that again. Inhale, shrug your shoulders up. Exhale, de-shrug, lengthen. Hands just hover off the floor. Fold, zipping up those abdominals. Good, and stay. Inhale and exhale, rolling yourself back down. Now we're going to add to this. Do the same beginning. Inhale, shrug, and exhale, de-shrug, and chest fold. Keep your pants zipped. Stay curled up. See if you can float your arms up, 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 up. Bring them back down, 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 and lower your head. Release. Quiver, quiver. Try that again. Inhale, shrug. Exhale, de-shrug, fold under the sternum, peekaboo at those toes, abs are zipping up. Reach the arms up, 2, 3, 4, keeping the ab connection, reach down, 2, 3, 4, and lower yourself back down. So you can either do that again 2 times or join me for a little bit more complicated, challenging variation, pulling the knees into the chest. This time as we curl up, we're going to extend our legs up, and then we'll proceed with that same arm business. So we inhale, prepare. Exhale, chest fold, and reach the legs up or slightly low. Keep your abdominal seatbelt strong. We reach the arms up, 2, 3, 4. Bring them back down, 2, 3, 4. Relax back down. We'll try it one more time. Inhale and exhale, chest fold and reach. Abs strong. We float, arms, 2, 3, 4, and reach back down, 2, 3, shaking, and roll yourself back down. Very good. Just roll your head side to side a few times there. Very nice. We're going to take our feet onto the mat, knees bent. So if you had your legs long, you can bend them again and place the feet on the floor. Hands surrendered, palms up at your side, and go into our articulated bridge from here. We inhale, prepare. Exhale, now imprint, tuck, and feel the low back into the mat. Then pouring weight into the feet. Slowly peel and lift your pelvis up off the floor. Knees reaching up and over the feet. Long in the fronts of the hips. Active in the backs of the legs and in your core. Take a breath in at the top. Exhale, really soften through your throat. And again, try to roll down one vertebra at a time. Back down to the floor. Curling through that low back. Maybe getting some stretch through the low back, until you completely unfurl back into your easy resting position. Let's try that again. Breathing in to prepare. Exhale, abs scoop, imprinting that low back, and then peeling the hips up, reaching the knees up and over the feet. Really feeling the bend of the knees, the action in the backs of the legs, turning on those glutes again. Inhale and exhale, soften and roll your spine back down. Good. Great. We'll try this again. Inhale and exhale. Scoop and lift. Feeling how that support from your core muscles really takes some of the pressure off the backs of the legs. Now stay here, suspended in space with your pelvis floating. We're going to float the arms just a little bit above the floor and do our snow angels today. So we're going to reach, arms are just hovering. See how high you can go, keeping that width across the upper back, and then slicing through the snow, bringing the hands back down, palms are still up. Try that again, keep lifted through the pelvis. So we're just balancing across the upper back, easy through the neck, and slicing through. Meanwhile, we're taking some of the focus off of the work in our butt, right? We're feeling that work. Lengthen, reaching up, and slicing back down. Can we do it one more time? I think so. Lift, keep suspended. Try not to let the pelvis droop. Lower it back down with the hands. Release your arms. Slowly roll back down. Woo, we felt that. Curl back home. Bring your knees into your chest. Maybe stretch out those hamstrings again if you need a little release, one leg at a time. Very nice. Okay, so we're moving on into our roll up from here. You can place your feet on the floor, maybe a little further away from your center, or try this with the legs all the way long. So it's up to you, whatever feels best for you. Our arms reach up overhead as far as you can without letting those ribs splay open. So feel your abdominal vest of strength there. Here we go. Inhale, the arms float back up to the ceiling, finding that same chest fold from earlier. Exhale. See if you can water wheel your way up. Use those abdominals. And then finding that hover boomerang position. Again, you can have your knees bent if you need to, but fold it at the waistline and really reaching wide across the upper back. Then descending as you did coming up, slow motion, pull the abs in, let those shoulders release. And again, try to go right down your center line. So avoid teetering from one side to the other. If you need to, you can let your hands walk along your legs to help you. Let's try this again. Inhale, the arms come up. And again, chest full, Zipping up those abdominals, curl and peel yourself up. Excellent, everybody. And again, wide reach. Abs are magnetized toward the wall behind you. And again, starting with that, scoop in the low belly, start your descent, rolling back down, shoulders melting, trying to be as coordinated, articulate, sequential as you can. Let's do it 2 more times. Arms reach overhead. Inhale. Use your breath. That's it. Nice. And again, wide to the upper back. Let the chin just fall down toward the chest. Stretching the back of the neck. And again, send the shoulder blades down. Feel the lats. And curling through that waistline. Ooh, we've been on vacation. I have. Let's try this again. Inhale the arms up. And exhale. Good. And at last, for here, you can open those sitting bones, just kind of rock side to side and take a deeper forward fold over the legs, getting a deeper stretch across the hamstrings and the upper back, the lower back. Breathe it out here. Good. Let's roll up to a sitting position from here. And feeling that stack of the spine. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, that's okay. But let's try opening the legs apart, shoulder distance with the feet flexed. And we'll take our spine stretch forward, adding on with extension. So zombie arms out in front and zipped up through your center. Inhale. Exhale. Deflating, curving over a basketball on your lap. Reaching forward with the fingertips, but really working that curve, head to tail. Inhale, stack the spine back to vertical. And then we're going to exhale, bend the elbows into a goalpost position, pulling those elbows back, and then lifting the heart, extending. Keep the back of the neck long, so you still could talk here. Come back to center, extend the arms into zombie position. Again, exhale, deflate, scoop the belly, pulling it up and in, curving up and over the waistline. Inhale to inflate, stacking your spine, letting those shoulders melt like melting wax. Elbows bend, wide through the chest. Inhale, lift your heart and extend, working that mid back there. Let's try it one more time. Extend the arms. And again, exhale, deflate. Flex those feet as much as you can. Send energy out through your heels. Working that flexible spine. Inhale, inflate, stack it back up again. Elbows bend, exhale. Inhale, heart lifts. And return, exhale. Good. Open those arms out to the side for our saw. Again, keeping those sitting bones right where they are. Spiral from the waistline. Rotate that rib cage. Good. And then fold, sawing off your ankle with that pinky side of the arm. Reaching, looking back toward the back hand. Again, feel the back sitting bones still on the floor. Inhale, stack the spine, rolling up through your spine. Let the shoulders soften and unwind. Exhale. Other side. Spiral rotate. Your feet shouldn't change. They stay on the same line. Exhale, fold and reach. Lengthening the fingertips away from each other, feeling that stretch into the shoulders and the hamstrings and the low back. Inhale, stack the spine again. And exhale, unwind. Let's try that again. Spiral rotate, three-dimensional rib cage. Exhale, fold and reach. I like to turn that back hand underhanded and then reach through the fingers. Get that deep shoulder stretch. Breathing there. Inhale, stack it up. Lovely, everyone. Exhale, unwind. Long neckline. Other side, spiral rotate. Inhale. And again, exhale, fold and reach. Good, good, good. And inhale, lengthen yourself back up. And exhale, unwind. Good. Now you can place your hands behind you again. This is just to open up the chest and shoulders. So again, the legs are just easy. See if you can roll those shoulders open. And again, take a little stretch, pressing down into the hands, maybe feeling that stretch all the way down through the arms. Good. And then release that. We're going to come down, facing the fingers toward the feet, down onto your elbows. Bend your knees and pull your knees into your chest. This is for all the sweets that we've been eating, right? We're going to do a little waistline work here, so obliques. You can keep your legs folded in here. That's a little easier. A lot harder would be to do this with the legs straight. So I'll demonstrate first staying compact, and then we'll try stretching it out. So while you're here on your elbows, don't just hang out. Really press and lift your chest. Keep your abdominals with you, zipped up. We're going to just take a little twisty twist side to side. So the knees stay stacked. We're going to try to keep our balance with our elbows both on the floor, rotating over to one side. Let the knees twist to one side. And then exhale, use your abdominals to bring your pelvis back to center. And try that on the other side. So we're spiraling over, keeping the collarbones open. And then exhale, scoop the abs in and bring it back to center. So as well as getting the oblique work, go ahead and try that again, twisting over. We also get a little glute massage, a little hip massage as we roll on the floor. Bring it back to center, exhale. And again, up and over. Inhale, prepare, exhale, abs bring you back. Now you're welcome to stay like this or join me with trying the legs extended, a lot harder. Tick-tock, up and over. Woo, try not to lose your balance. And exhale, abs bring you back. Ooh, that's challenging. Other side, up and over, reach. Keeping those elbows on the floor, and exhale, gather. One more time each way, up and over, reach. Collarbones still wide, and exhale, waistline brings you back. And last time, up and over. Inhale, and exhale, gather it back. Woo, well done. Bend your knees. Bring yourself back up. Let's take another butterfly stretch. Opening up those hips. Diving forward again over the legs. Deep breaths here. Good. And then again, roll yourself back up. Let's go over onto your belly now. So legs long behind you. They can be slightly apart. And I'm going to bring my hands right next to my shoulders here. Okay. So finding yourself on your belly, keep those abdominals just gently lifting up to support your back. We're going to push the imaginary marble with our nose, watching it roll, like when we were learning how to crawl as infants, reaching out with the eyes. Abs are strong, opening the chest. Make sure I can still see your neckline here. So pull those shoulder blades down away from the ears. If you're ready to or able, you can press into your hands and come up a little bit higher. Keep that sense of support through the abdominals and the length of the neck. Wherever you are, bring your chin towards your chest to stretch the back of the neck. And then rolling one ear to one shoulder, feeling that length through the side of the neck. And go back to the front, chin to chest. Other side, ear to shoulder. Lengthening out those scalene muscles in the neck. Chin to chest again. And then eyes coming up again, long back of the neck. Inhale, exhale, slowly painting your focus back down that arc pathway, all the way back down to the floor. And we'll do that again. Reaching out, cervical spine starts to extend. Thoracic spine starts to extend again, pressing into the hands. Abs supportive, lifting up and in. Wide collarbones. Let's try the next stretch again. Chin to chest. Maybe start the other direction first. Ear to shoulder. Breathing, enjoying that stretch. Other side again. Chin to chest. Around to the other side. Ear to shoulder. And again, chin to chest. And eyes forward again. Long back of the neck. You can still say hello, hello. And again, rolling your spine back down. Good. And release. Just wag your tail a little bit side to side. And then we're going to press up to hands and knees. So bringing yourself into that quadruped coffee table position. Shoulders over hands, knees under hips, abs lifted so you feel that support. Be careful not to let your chest sag in the middle, also let toward the floor. Really lift up, feel that width across the upper back, lifting your heart up away from the floor, but without necessarily curving the spine quite yet. We're going to take opposite fingers and toes, lengthening opposite leg and arm, reaching the fingers and toes along the floor, keeping that connection. Without bending in the middle, try to keep your support. Barely float fingers and toes off the floor, becoming a pointer dog, reaching out. Bring it back down to the floor and sliding back underneath you. Go for a seamless transition to the other side. Barely shifting, slide and glide opposite fingers and toes. Energy out through the head and the tail, then barely float. Doesn't have to go very high. Bring it back down to the floor and underneath yourself. Again, try this again. Balancing your most fragile holiday ornament on your back. Reaching fingers and toes. And then float and lift. Abs strong. And bring it back down to the floor. And back to your quadruped position. Again, seamless transition. Glide and slide. And barely float. Nothing changes. Just lifting the fingers and the toes, reaching out. Come back to your quadruped. Now you get to cat back. Curl and dome the spine. Hollowing the belly, pulling the abs up and in toward the sky. Let your head hang forward. And then again, lengthen right back out to that long spine. Slide the shoulders back, go into your cow, arch, and enjoy that. Again, shining your heart light out in front of you. And we'll do that again. Back to the quadruped, long spine. Contract and cat. From here, shift your weight a little forward and back, just changing your weight, feeling different areas of stretch as you shift. If you find a good one, you can hang out there a little longer. Bring it back again to your quadruped, back to that long spine. This time, keep the belly support and only arc the upper chest. So just sliding the shoulders back and yearning your heart forward, but without releasing into the low back. Come back into your long spine. One more cat, hollowing up and in. And then slowly, slowly shift your weight to sit all the way back toward the feet. You can open your knees wider if that's better for you. Once you settle into your child's pose, you can walk your arms a little further out in front. And breathe and stretch here into your child's pose position. That's it. Since we did all of that oblique work, let's add in our side body stretch. So I'm going to walk my hands over to the left and slide my hips just a bit over to the right. So I feel that side body stretch to the right waistline, through the lats. You can peek underneath that right arm. Enjoy that stretch there. And then as you're ready, return to center and try the other side. Walking the hands over to the right, sliding the hips a bit over to the left. Peek underneath that left arm. And again, deep breaths. Good. And again, bring yourself back to center. And then you're going to curl through that low back, scoop the abs in, and just roll yourself back up to sit tall. Good. For our side leg and side work today, we're going to come up to a kneeling position. So if you need extra mat, you can double up on your padding underneath your knees. We're going to come to a kneeling position this way. I'm going to take one leg and extend it out to the side. You can just rest it on the sole of that foot and reach your arms out into a T shape. And then we're going to lift this waistline and go away from the long leg, bringing our hand to the floor. And just pause here, reaching your top arm up to the ceiling, feeling maybe some of that stretch through this top hip and through the waistline. Stay here and just turn your head looking down toward your support hand, keeping the hips forward. Bring your head back to look toward me, and then look up at the top arm, just revolving that head, reaching and looking up. And let's do that again. Just revolving the head, looking down, feeling that beam of energy through the arms. Come back to center, looking up. Good, and then back to center. And then take this top arm and reach it up and over on that long diagonal, increasing the stretch through the rib cage. Take a few deep breaths here. Good, and then again, reaching the arm back up to the center. Inhale, exhale. See if you can use your waistline to bring yourself back up. And let's try this all on the other side. Lengthen the other leg out. That's it. And extending those arms. And again, we're going to lift the bottom ribs and teeter-totter up and over, finding that vertical line through the arms. Again, my hips are reaching forward, not arching through the back, but just finding that side bend. Lengthening up. And once again, turning the head, looking down at the floor. Good. And then back to center. And then looking up at that top arm. See how that changes the stretch for you. And back to center. Try this again. Turning the head, looking down. And straight ahead. And again, spiraling, looking up. And straight ahead. Good. And again, we'll take that top arm, reach, and we'll take it up and over on that high diagonal, feeling how that changes the stretch. Keep lifting the rib cage up to the ceiling. Deep breaths here. Good work. And again, we'll reach the arm back up to vertical. Inhale, prepare, and then engage those obliques again. Exhale to bring yourself back up. Very, very good. Nice. We'll come to our kneeling position again. I'm going to turn sideways. Maybe you should too. This is a nice little stretch for the chest and shoulders again. And there's some difficult ab work involved, not to mention hamstrings. So we start in this vertical position. Your goal here is to not let your hips drop back until you can't stand it, until you have to. We're going to try to keep our pantyhose pulled up at the front here. Use your imagination. Roll down with the top of the head, curving forward. Try to find that chest fold that we found earlier, but without letting the hips sit back. So we're going through that candy cane shape. And then there's a point where there's no, that's it, there's no more where to go. So you have to let the hips shift. We're going to find our fingertips to the floor, walk yourself out, and then you're going to just stretch like Luna does. Shine your jazz hands out in front of you. Shine your sit bones out behind you. Open through the rib cage and just stretch it out. From here, we curl head to tail again, walking our hands back. Try to bring the pelvis forward toward your nose. Try to find that vertical pelvis position. Whew. And then roll your spine back up. Little challenge. Let's try it one more time. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale, diving cat, rolling forward. Keep the pelvis as vertical as you can. See how you have to work your hamstrings, pressing the pelvis forward. And then you can't move anymore. You have to shift the hips. Walk your hands out and stretch. Yawn that spine open. Stretch to the rib cage. I'm putting a little bit of pressure into the wrist, so I'm getting some nice stretch under the arms. And again, curl head to tail. Look towards your belly button. Walk yourself back. Bring that pelvis to vertical as much as you can. Woo. And unfurl. Very, very good. Come back down to have a seat. Let's go into our fourth position for mermaid today. All right, so a wider stance here. We're going to hold on to the outer ankle. We'll do a little bit of reverse mermaid. So reaching this arm up. Make sure you're not spilling the ribs forward. Keep them with you. Feel your back space. Inhale again, reach up. And we're going to side bend toward the feet. So drop this bottom shoulder. And just again, feel that stretch to the waistline. Good. From here, take your hand behind your head. Let's peer up at that elbow again. Spiral open. And then hollow the belly button, contract, and bring that top elbow toward that furthest knee. Contracting on that diagonal. Good. And then again, bring yourself back to your sideways position. Lengthen that arm, go farther, farther, farthest, and stack yourself up. And then we'll do our reverse mermaid. This hand will reach to the floor. We're going to lift the rib cage, slide down onto your elbow if you can. So now we're in that other side bend. Inhale, let's lift this arm up. And then fingertips dive through. Thread the needle, lift your rib cage, and go underneath that tunnel. Spiraling the torso, wringing it out. Breathing there. Return back to your sideways position. Good. Let's inhale the arm. See if you can use your obliques again. Exhale to bring yourself back up. Nice. Let's do our fancy transition to the other side. Swing those legs around. Again, settling the pelvis as best you can. Hold on to that outer your mermaid tail with your ankle there. Take this arm up. Inhale, reach up. And over toward your feet, side bend over. Relax your shoulder. Take some breaths there. Good. Hand behind the head. Inhale, look up at that elbow. And then lift your belly, contract, twist. Spiraling the torso. Sending that breath down into the lower back, wherever you're feeling that delicious stretch. Good. Return your ribs back to the front, to that side bend. Extend that long arm. Reach, reach, reach. Go farther. And bring yourself back up. And for the reverse mermaid, this hand comes to the floor. The other arm comes up. Again, lifting the rib cage. Make that tunnel. Sliding down to your elbow. Enjoying that length all the way down into the hip. Let's reach the arm up. Inhale. And then thread the needle. Contract, spiral, rotate. Bringing out the rib cage. Breathing there. Good. Return, lift the abs, bring your rib cage back to that position. And we'll come back up. Inhale. And exhale. Using that waistline there. Good. Let's come back to hands and knees. We'll stretch out our hip flexors here. So from here, help one foot out in front of yourself into a little low lunge here. I like to inchworm my foot forward and then press the pelvis forward. You want a nice right angle with this front knee directly over your heel. Try not to be a hunchback here. Slide the shoulders down, open your chest, looking straight ahead. Feel that length, whooshing air down through that front of the hip. You're welcome to stay here. You can kind of do what your body likes to do here. If you want to turn out your front leg, go deeper, you can. Perhaps zip up those abdominals, bring your hands to your thigh. Challenge your balance and maybe a little deeper stretch there. 2 more deep breaths. And then we'll carefully help ourselves out of that. Just hinge your hips backward, flex that front foot, and maybe stretch forward a little bit so you're feeling a little bit more hamstring stretch. Be careful of hyperextending that knee. Just breathe and carefully unwind out of that. We'll find our graceful transition to the other side. Help that other leg out. No shame in that. Wiggle your toes out forward. Again, aligning the pelvis forward and folding into that right angle. Again, awareness through the posture. Shoulders are soft. Send your deep exhales down into those places deep into the hip. Again, do whatever feels appropriate for you. You could even be up on that ball of the foot into a long position, whatever works. For me, I'm going to lift my abdominals and once again find my hands to my thighs, shoulders soft. And breathe here. Good, everybody. And then when you're ready, again, carefully help yourself out of that. And we'll just come to have a seat. Legs out in front, just wiggle out those legs. Very good. Let's take our arms up again. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Fill with good air. Exhale, let it all out. And again, reaching up. Inhale. And exhale, letting it all out. 1/3 time more, reaching the arms up. This time you can fold forward, take your bow, reach forward over the legs, stretch out the low back. And roll yourself on up. All right, very good, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We'll say goodbye to 2020 and onward to 2021. Thank you for being here.